A transcontinental race around the world is just around the corner in Mario Kart World, available exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2.
That's it?
Well, that Mario Kart World Direct just happened, and it happened. But yeah, there's a lot of things for me to try to figure out here, because this was just so confusing. So, to make a long story short, this show wasn't needed. I mean, not at all. It didn't even really make sense why Nintendo had this. The 15-minute show showed literally a couple things that were new, and that was it. Those new things were extremely tiny. If you missed the show, let me just recap it. Here you go. They spent about the first minute or so just talking about the courses, which we've known about. We know all the courses already thanks to the demos and stuff people have played, but they even just decided to show like the courses that we've seen the most of from like the treehouse and stuff. So it's just like, why are we seeing Mario Brothers Circuit? You know, we've seen this already in its full entirety. They then spent about a minute or so on the characters and literally just showing us Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser, and then a couple of enemies that are returning, which we've seen all these characters already. Nothing new here, and didn't even announce that there would be more new characters. This was pretty much it. They then talked about the two main modes, again, being Grand Prix and Knockout Tour, which once again, we've seen 5 Nintendo treehouses on these gameplays. Like, we know exactly how these will work. There really wasn't anything new or special there. They went over the items, which once again, we know all about these already. We've seen every single item be used in either demo gameplay or Nintendo Treehouse gameplay, so once again, nothing new there. They went over the food bags, and they don't have any type of unique gimmick that we were hoping for. They're literally just a little boost of food, and they give you a new costume. That's exactly what we were told in the beginning, and that's exactly what they tell us again here. The only thing that we get is a look at a couple more of the actual plates of food, but for the most part, it's just, you know, what we've been saw already. And they even talked about how these costumes are indeed separate character slots. No, we cannot put them underneath a specific character, which is just strange. We're going to have a whole roster full of different costumed characters instead of just unique characters. They went over the basic mechanics again, like the charge jump that we could do now, which, you know, we've been seeing gameplay of. We've seen the wall jump and the rail riding, and they once again went over them and showed how they can be used. I guess they gave us a couple of bit of new information about how you can use them. For instance, there's a lot of tracks that have higher levels that you can get to by wall jumping. There's even some tracks like Sky Hunt Sunday you can see here, where you actually can ride on the side of the wall in order to get to places. And one of the first new things we finally get is you can rewind the game. Yes, even when you're playing live with other racers, you can rewind the game to go back to specific spots, which will hurt you in a lot of situations, which is a strange mechanic for sure. I don't know how that's going to work with things like red shells or blue shells coming towards you. Can you just rewind behind it? Who knows? Now, here's a couple of new things that we finally got, but they're all things that we kind of expected to be here because they're in like literally every Mario Kart ever. We have time trials, so yeah, you can race on the individual tracks with time trials, and you can learn the shortcuts and stuff that way. There's also versus races, which means you don't have to race in the intermission tracks. Thankfully, you can just race on the actual race tracks. You can even choose to create your own little path from one track to the other, which is going to have a pretty large, significant amount of races that you can do. I'm actually really pumped about that. There's team races, once again, where you can have up to 4 teams, and you have battle mode returning, which actually has battle tracks as well. It's also returning battle tracks as well, but there's only 2 main game modes. There's balloon battle like we've always had, in coin runners. That's it. Nothing else. Free roam is pretty basic overall, and there's not a whole lot going on here. It's really just meant for us to drive around and I guess just explore the map for some reason. Now, there are some things to collect, but they didn't really explain them. Once again, they did finally go over what that P-switch, Peach coin, and that question block are. It's actually just overworld things that you can interact with. The P-switches actually activate missions, such as collecting the blue coins or going through the rings at a certain amount of time. So yeah, I guess you kind of have Mario Kart DS's mission mode back in a way, but that's really the extent of it. There's nothing really else that they talked about, and they only showed 2 challenges. As far as the Peach coins, they didn't really say what they were for. You can just collect them. Absolutely nothing else with it. Yep, you can just collect Peach coins. And also, when it comes to the actual question mark icons on the ground, they showed nothing with that either. It just says you activated a question panel. So I really don't know what these do and what's the point of us collecting these. And the rest of Direct just showed the wireless play and also the game chat, and once again showing that horrible frame rate at the bottom of how the screens will look. But that's pretty much how they ended the show. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, it was a pretty lame show. I don't understand why Nintendo needed to have a Nintendo Direct about this, and there's a lot of problems with this. For one, I'm going to just straight up say it, this game isn't worth $80. I'm excited for the game, and I think this game is reasonably, you know, a $60 game. At the absolute utmost, a $70 game. There's nothing at all that's worth that $80 price tag. And what makes this very frustrating is Nintendo actually really hyped this up and pretty much lied to us. Because a lot of people were asking, you know, the president and vice president, being Doug Bowser and Bill Trinen of America, and was asking them why the world seemed so empty and that, you know, why this game was worth $80, and that they both said you'd have to tune in for that Nintendo Direct in order to find out why. I don't want to give things away, but there's a reason why it's $80. It's just there's that much content, and they just kept saying, watch this Nintendo Direct, there's that much content. Watch this Nintendo Direct, there's that much content. Was there a different Direct that we were supposed to see? The Nintendo Treehouse themselves even hyped this up even more.
It's there.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's really neat. And once again, there's more to free roam mode than we're talking about here.
Yes.
So please stay tuned
Absolutely.
for the dedicated Mario Kart Direct that's going to be coming up in a few weeks.
So I guess their stay tuned and $80 price tag was literally just for, hey, there's an open world and there's some missions that you can do in it. Like, that's $80? I'm sorry, but I just keep finding it harder and harder to defend Nintendo. I mean, obviously, everybody was spamming drop the price, and I thought it was way too early for them to be saying something like that. But really, what's going to stop people from continuously saying that now? Because, like, nothing was shown to justify or to prove people wrong or to shut people up. I know a lot of my friends, and they were asking me, you know, why is this game $80? Are we going to see anything that makes it worth $80? And I kept telling them, just wait for this Nintendo Direct. It's going to show off a lot of stuff. And it really did not show off anything. I mean, this was a Direct that literally could have just been a little overview trailer that Nintendo dropped on YouTube right after the Direct. Why do we have to wait 2 weeks for them just to kind of repeat almost every single thing they've told us already and still leave us in the dark about a lot of other things? Like, there were no new battle modes, you know? They didn't go over really any new exciting modes that we didn't know about. They didn't really incentivize why the intermission tracks are good. They didn't show any new crazy mechanic that they could have been hiding. A lot of people have been telling me that they're probably hiding something very special they don't want to show us yet. No, it looks like the build that people are playing, that demo build that everyone's playing right now, is the final build of the game, which I thought it would be. Why wouldn't it be? I mean, the game is out in a month and a half. I mean, clearly that had to be the final build, and it seems like that was the case. Like, what people are playing right now during these Switch 2 events is Mario Kart World in its full capacity. You're just limited to what you can go to and what you can see. I'm also just kind of confused as to how there's no like real story mode to this game. I'm like, you finally have an open world to deal with, and there's no story. There's no reason to really explore outside of some missions and some coins that you can collect. Why am I doing this? What's the point of this? Why couldn't there be a story? How come games like Mario Golf and Mario Tennis for Nintendo Switch both have story modes with dedicated boss battles, but there's nothing like that in Mario Kart World? Or at least they didn't show anything like that right now. I don't know if Nintendo's pulling a Tears of the Kingdom and there's actually some secrets that they're hiding and that they just want to save us and just, you know, surprise us. But I don't feel like this is a game that you want to save every surprise for, because like, this is the point. You want to advertise this game, why you are charging $80 for this thing, show people why they need to pay $80 for this game, why they need to get a Switch 2 to play this game. And I feel like as the game still looks a lot of fun, I'm still very excited for it, it's just not showing that $80 price tag, you know, or showing why it's worth $80 in the first place. Even some of the basic things that this game offers just looks basic. I mean, the home menu looks identical to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe's for the most part. Also, the online, they didn't really show much of the online at all, and it looks like it's just extremely bare bones and basic again. You just have your basic settings like you did in Mario Kart 8, and it looks like the point system is back. There's no real ranking system or anything like that. It's just like, they didn't really bring anything else new to the scene here. And that's the problem. There was just no surprises. Like, I just can't understand why Nintendo wanted to have this Nintendo Direct so bad, why they felt like they needed to announce it during the Switch 2 Direct as if there was something really big that they were excited to show us, and why Nintendo themselves, the president, and everybody else is just like hyping this game up, trying to justify this $80 price tag without any real reason. I just feel like we've been lied to about some stuff, and I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. But I know a lot of people are going to ask, well, Nintendo Land, what did you want to see here? And let me just kind of explain to you. They could have sat and just explained what the future of this game is going to look like. Show what free updates could be. Show a shop with, costumes that are going to be coming into the shop frequently. You can use your coins to buy costumes. What the Peach coins even do in the first place. Why are we collecting them? What's the purpose of that? They could have showed us some type of, maybe boss battles or overworld challenges of some sort that kind of resembles a story mode. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe there was just more to it that they just didn't show us yet. We just have to wait and see. They could have showed us, some more battle modes. A better, more improved online tournament system, ranking system, a proper ranked mode online would have been nice. Just, some more reasons why we want to explore that open world. What are some of the secrets we can find? Some type of surprise that they held for us. Some major new mechanic or secret that they've been waiting to show us. And I just don't think we got any of that during this show. Like I said, this doesn't change really anything. I don't think it makes me want the game less. I just think it just keeps me at the same hype level I was. I'm already really hyped for this game, and I still am. I just wanted this Direct to be more. And, that's it. At the end of the day, it was a pretty lackluster show. And it's just hard for me to justify that $80 price tag with what we've seen so far, because nothing that we've seen is worth that $80. What we've seen, pretty much 95% of this Direct, is stuff that they could have talked about with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't even matter what game was on the screen, because 90% of the stuff was just, hey, there's Grand Prix. Hey, here's the items. Hey, here's, this and that. It's just like basic things. And yeah, overall, I was kind of let down by what they showed, and I just wish they had more to show. But what do you guys think? Did you guys enjoy the show? Did you not enjoy the show? Are you still hyped for this game? Is it still worth $80 to you? Let me know how you feel down below. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out. And like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See ya, guys.